The Millionaire Fastlane, by MJ DeMarco is a blunt, reality-driven book that challenges the most common beliefs people hold about money, work, and success. Instead of promoting motivation or vague positive thinking, the book focuses on systems, economics, and behavior. Its central argument is simple but uncomfortable: most people stay poor or financially stressed not because they lack effort, but because they follow a fundamentally flawed financial roadmap. DeMarco calls this roadmap the slow lane, and he contrasts it with two other paths, the sidewalk and the fast lane. The book begins by attacking what society commonly teaches as the safe financial formula: get good grades, get a stable job, work hard for 40 years, save a portion of your income, invest conservatively, and retire late in life. DeMarco argues that this formula is outdated, fragile, and mathematically incapable of producing wealth for most people. It relies on too many uncontrollable variables: job security, market stability, health, inflation, and time itself. Most importantly, it trades time for money, which is the most limiting form of income. DeMarco introduces the concept of time poverty. Even people who earn good salaries often remain poor in time, freedom, and control. They may own expensive things, but they do not own their lives. Wealth, according to the book, is not about income, it is about control over your time and choices. If you must work to survive, you are not wealthy, regardless of how much money you make. The first path DeMarco describes is the sidewalk. This path represents people who live purely for instant gratification. Sidewalkers believe money problems can be ignored or solved later. They spend without planning, avoid responsibility, and rely on luck, debt, or external help. The sidewalk offers no long-term strategy, only short-term pleasure. While it may feel enjoyable at first, it almost always leads to financial stress, dependence, and regret. DeMarco is clear that the sidewalk is not freedom, it is financial chaos disguised as living in the moment. The second path is the slow lane, which represents the majority of society. Slow lane thinkers believe in hard work, discipline, and delayed gratification. They follow the conventional formula of trading time for money and hope that consistency over decades will eventually lead to comfort. The slow lane relies on steady employment, raises, promotions, and long-term investing. While this path appears responsible and respectable, DeMarco argues it is deeply flawed because it depends on time, which is finite and uncontrollable. One of the book's most powerful arguments is that time is a terrible vehicle for wealth. Even if someone saves diligently and invests wisely, the math often fails to produce meaningful freedom before old age. Inflation erodes purchasing power, emergencies interrupt progress, and life rarely goes according to plan. The slow lane does not account for reality, it assumes stability in an unstable world. In contrast, DeMarco introduces the fast lane, which is not a get-rich-quick scheme, but a system-based approach to wealth creation. The fast lane focuses on building assets that produce value for many people without directly trading time for money. These assets include businesses, products, services, software, media, and systems that can scale. The key difference is leverage. Fastlane wealth grows through scale, not hours worked. A core principle of the fastlane is value creation. Money, according to DeMarco, is simply a reflection of the value you provide to others. The more people you help, and the greater the problem you solve, the more money you can earn. This shifts the focus from "how much can I earn" to "how much value can I create?" Fastlane thinkers look outward at market needs instead of inward at personal desires. DeMarco emphasizes that wealth is not a matter of luck, but of structure. While luck can accelerate success, it cannot replace a sound system. Many people chase trends, schemes, or shortcuts, hoping for a lucky break. The fastlane rejects this mentality and focuses on building businesses that solve real problems in sustainable ways. One of the most important frameworks in the book is the sense commandments, which define whether a business or idea qualifies as a fast-lane vehicle. These commandments are control, entry, need, time, and scale. Control refers to ownership. If you do not control your income source, you do not control your future. Employees do not control their income, business owners do. Investors who rely on others' decisions do not fully control outcomes. Fastlane wealth requires ownership and decision-making power. Entry refers to barriers. If anyone can easily do what you do, competition will destroy profits. Fastlane businesses often require skills, knowledge, capital, creativity, or persistence that most people are unwilling to develop. Difficulty is not a disadvantage, it is protection. Need focuses on solving real problems. Businesses built on ego, passion alone, or trends often fail. Successful Fastlane businesses address strong market needs such as saving time, reducing pain, improving health, increasing convenience, or enhancing status. People pay for solutions, not dreams. Time emphasizes decoupling income from hours worked. If your income stops when you stop working, you are still trading time for money. Fastlane systems allow money to be generated independently of your presence, even if they require intense effort upfront. Scale refers to reach. Selling one-on-one services limits income. Scalable businesses reach thousands or millions through products, systems, or automation. Scale transforms effort into exponential results. The book also dismantles the myth of passive income. DeMarco argues that passive income is often misunderstood. Most income streams require significant active effort upfront. The difference is not effort versus no effort, but front-loaded effort versus lifetime effort. Fastlane builders work intensely in the beginning to build systems that reduce effort later. Another major theme is mindset and responsibility. DeMarco criticizes victim thinking, entitlement, and blaming external forces. Fastlane thinkers take full responsibility for outcomes. They do not blame the economy, employers, or circumstances. Responsibility creates control, and control creates options. The book explains that consumerism is the enemy of wealth. Society encourages people to look rich instead of becoming rich. Cars, gadgets, and lifestyle inflation trap people in cycles of dependency. Fastlane thinkers delay lifestyle upgrades until assets are built. They invest in systems first and consumption later. DeMarco also discusses risk, arguing that most people misunderstand it. Avoiding risk entirely is itself risky. Relying on a single employer or income source is dangerous, even if it feels safe. Fastlane risk is calculated and strategic. It involves learning, testing, failing small, and improving. Slowlane risk is blind trust in systems outside one's control. A significant portion of the book focuses on process over goals. Many people obsess over outcomes, money, cars, freedom, without understanding the systems that produce them. Fastlane thinkers focus on daily processes. Learning skills, testing ideas, improving value, and building assets. Wealth becomes a byproduct of effective processes. DeMarco emphasizes execution over ideas. Ideas are common, execution is rare. Many people believe their idea is valuable, but value only exists when customers pay. Fastlane builders test assumptions, gather feedback, and adapt quickly. Ego is replaced with data. The book also highlights the importance of learning real-world skills, not just formal education. While education can be useful, it often trains people to be employees rather than creators. Skills such as sales, marketing, problem-solving, systems thinking, and leadership are critical in the Fastlane. Another powerful lesson is patience with urgency. Fastlane wealth is not instant, but it is faster than the slow lane. It may take years, but those years are active, intentional, and growth-oriented. Slow lane wealth may take decades, with no guarantee. Fastlane builders accept short-term discomfort for long-term freedom. DeMarco also discusses failure, reframing it as feedback. Failure is not a signal to quit but a signal to adjust. Most successful entrepreneurs failed multiple times before finding success. The difference is persistence combined with learning. The book warns against get-rich-quick schemes, emphasizing that Fastlane is not about shortcuts. True Fastlane wealth requires discipline, sacrifice, and intelligent effort. What makes it fast is leverage and scale, not ease. Another important idea is identity shift. To build wealth, one must stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a producer. Consumers ask, "What can I buy?" Producers ask, "What can I build?" This shift changes how one sees problems, opportunities, and money itself. DeMarco also addresses money myths, such as the belief that money is evil or that rich people are greedy. He argues that money is neutral, it amplifies who you already are. Money rewards value creation and efficiency. Resenting wealth often reflects misunderstanding, not morality. As the book progresses, it becomes clear that the Fastlane is not just a financial strategy, but a life philosophy. It prioritizes autonomy, purpose, and contribution. Money is a tool, not the goal. The goal is freedom, freedom to choose how to live, work, and contribute. In the later sections, DeMarco discusses exiting the Fastlane, explaining that wealth is realized when systems are stable, diversified, and no longer dependent on the creator. At this point, income becomes predictable and time becomes flexible. True wealth is achieved when money works harder than you do. The final message of The Millionaire Fastlane is both empowering and demanding. It states that wealth is available to anyone willing to reject conventional thinking, accept responsibility, create value, and build systems. There are no guarantees, but there are better odds than the traditional path offers. The book does not promise comfort, ease, or certainty. Instead, it offers realism, control, and possibility. It challenges readers to question everything they have been taught about money and to decide whether they want security through dependency or freedom through ownership. Ultimately, The Millionaire Fastlane argues that the real cost of the slow lane is not money, but life itself. Time spent waiting is time never recovered. The Fastlane is about reclaiming that time by building something meaningful, scalable, and valuable. Wealth is not a destination. It is a consequence of living intentionally and creating value in the world.